right here.
It seems like the system we have now of tax credits, deductions, and what have you, leads to corruption and special interest. Have you ever considered the fair tax?
The question is, have I ever considered the fair tax? I sure have considered the fair tax, and I was one of the co-sponsors of the fair tax. I also co-sponsored, for Truth in Advertising, I co-sponsored the flat tax. All that to say, though I believe the fair tax is the best approach, because it gives all of you the option to some degree of whether you pay it or not, by what you buy. You can choose to a great degree how much tax you pay by what you choose to purchase. It also reduces the cost of original production, because original production, whether it's a widget or a car or a windmill, isn't taxed until the first point of sale. So I like that, but it's complicated. Some people's eyes glaze over. I tell them, read Neil Borch's book. That'll help you out. The flat tax is simple. 10%, everybody pays it. No deductions, no exemptions, that's it. Postage card, fill out your tax, send it in. It's not a bad idea, except that's how this present tax structure started. So politicians have to be resolute in saying, no, I'm not going to get into this exemption, deduction, special interest thing again. But if I could have a flat tax now, or a fair tax, to do away with that 2-foot-tall, thousands of page U.S. tax code that's unfair, that's confusing, that's unreadable, I'd take it. But I do support the fair tax.
People that is a flat tax should the IRS that it would get rid of the deficit.
I couldn't answer that. I don't think so, but I couldn't answer that. The beauty of the fair tax is it does away with the IRS. It does away with every single federal tax. And I say that strongly again because Rachel's here, and I'll introduce Rachel. She's with the Democrat Party, and she video and audios me every time I speak in a public meeting. And that's her job, so that's fine. This is Rachel, did you do that? But I want to make it clear, because Mark Schauer will do what he did in the last election. Walberg supports increasing your tax by putting a 23% sales tax on top. That's absolutely a lie. And I won't back down to like Joe Wilson on that statement. That is a lie, because it does. In order for the fair tax to go into place, the United States citizen, the voter, has to repeal the 16th Amendment, which is the income tax, where the IRS came from. And it repeals every other federal tax, excise, income tax, and FICA. It's all gone. This fair tax replaces all of it. But the beauty is it spreads it over everybody, including the drug pusher. Right here.
Tim, we still are in the midst of a mortgage meltdown situation in the state. Home values have lost a lot of money. A lot of spending over the last 10 years has come from people tapping into the equity of their homes, which is now, in most cases, dried up and negative. Washington has done something to limit the banks, to make them comply. What strategy do you have going to Washington to deal with the big banks on how we deal with mortgages, so that people that need help can get help to stay in a home? People that are in a home that are making payments don't lose them.
I think we encourage sound lending practices, and encourage, I mean, we say, way to go, lender, for doing the right thing with the right people. The new financial reform bill that's going through Congress right now is going back to the problem that resulted in the meltdown in September of 2008. We are still encouraging people who should not be getting into homes, encouraging them by giving them loans when they don't have the ability to pay. My wife and I bought our first home, which we still live in, 32 years later. They required us to have a 20% down payment. That was a good thing, even though, the banker knew that we were going to be creative and go to a grandfather and other family members and help to get that 20%. We're not doing that. And so what we're saying is, lending institutions, bankers, big, small, community, whatever, you will carry out social reform by lending to entities on a significant basis that you wouldn't lend if you had your own sale.